Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars Let's Play. Last mission we just ended up here at the Nolani Academy mission, so we're going to be doing that. So there's actually two ways to do this mission. You can take the long way around and go chase that guy and run around, but we're going to see if we can just open this lever and kill our way through, just because I think it'd be funny. Also, totally not because I have to re-record the entire mission because I didn't realize to the last 10 seconds that I had forgot to press record. Ooh, nothing like that. Alright, so let's see how well this works out. I have a feeling this isn't going to work out very well. I mean... maybe? We kill this charr here. That should give our... Okay. I'm not gonna lie, that worked much better than I expected it to work. I expected us to get rolled. That went surprisingly well, I will say. Get out here and uh-oh, they're focusing down the healer. Don't die. Oh, she's dead. No, don't kill her again. We have another res. We might not have another res. We do not have another res, it appears. Well, let's, So after going surprisingly well, that ended poorly. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of stubborn, so I am 100% trying that again. Oh, oops. Okay, I'll do it the normal way. I'll do it the normal way. I could get consumables and stuff to make that possible, but I don't really want to just, like, cheese it with a bunch of high-level stuff, so... We're gonna go through the way the game wants you to, which is to go all the way around and then come back down. But that is like a fun way to get through this if you know, come back later and have better builds and are better optimized. You can just spike your way through there. We actually almost got through if our healer wasn't stupid and standing all the way up in the front getting targeted, so... We almost made it that first time. Not quite. Alright, sure, we can use down. I remember what I was talking about the first time I recorded this. Oh, I think I was talking about how, oh yes, I was talking about these guys here, and now how I don't remember ever meeting these things, but I think they're part of the bonus? I don't actually remember what the bonus is for this mission. I think I did it once. I've never actually gotten the title for, like, doing all the bonus missions and all the vanquishes and stuff like that, despite the fact that I played this game for a very, very long time. I kind of basically just focused on doing the elite areas, not really on doing any of the, like, completionism stuff. Which is why I am not super worried about doing it in this series either, because just honestly I don't find that stuff very fun. It can get pretty tedious pretty fast. Come on, actually shoot us so you can take damage. There you go. Yeah, but I think I also mentioned that, like, you can actually go up, like, that way. And there's, like, a whole bunch of just random space up there that does no purpose. Or any, that, like, just exists for no reason. And, like, there's tons of areas like that in these Prophecies missions. I believe we were talking about that in another episode. Versus, like, a whole bunch of dead space. This guy as well from up here. Nah, he's glitched. Gotta run around. The big wall, I believe the capital we're in, I believe it's the capital, is beyond this wall over here. Actually, I forget if it's the capital. I think it is. Ooh, we leveled up. Man, I tell you though, playing with these henchmen, it makes me really, really want heroes. If you play this game yourself, especially quite a bit, you kind of get spoiled by whenever you need to do any, like, general PvE that's not like endgame. You just bring heroes, and, like, heroes, being able to assign your own builds onto them just makes them so busted. They just do, like, insanely efficient. You can make such good builds. But not these stupid guys. These guys have, like, 4 abilities, and they're not dual classed, and they're all kind of crummy abilities. But we'll get that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not. I would be lying if I said I wasn't looking forward to and trying to get to the part where I can go get heroes, because I will 100% be going and getting heroes before coming back and finishing this campaign. I initially toyed with the idea of not doing that, and then I realized I can, like, if I was just playing through by myself, like, I would do that. I would go get the heroes and come back. I'm not gonna go get all of them, you know, but I'm just gonna go pick up, like, the ones that are pretty easy to get to, just to make the game more fun. But if you want a challenge, as you're playing through, you can only use try to only use the henchmen. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could do it. Oh, here comes these charr. Ooh, fail. They'll just get absolutely blasted. It's because they're using a stance. Stance are skills that like martial characters have. So like anybody who uses like a physical weapon, rangers, warriors, dervishes, etc. And stances are like you can only ever have one stance on at a time. And the one those warriors are using there is called Frenzy. It's one of the more famous ones in the game because it makes you take double damage. That's like the downside to it. Not all the stances have downsides, but that one does have a downside. It's you take double damage, and that's a pretty big downside. I mean, you just get we just absolutely blasted him. Like I was able to hit 50s with a lot of my spells there. All right, let's kill these guys. So for some reason, I think it's once you kill the... Oh, we gotta get in there. Once you kill that elite there, you actually spawn these guys going in to kill the freaking... to kill Rurik. And if Rurik dies, you fail. So you kind of gotta make sure you grab these guys. Or like you get in here before they kill Rurik and kill them. Which is a little dumb, I will say. But thankfully, we do enough damage to be able to get through it. If you're playing this for yourself and you don't, I would highly recommend clearing out the non-boss pack before you run in here. And go up here and grab. This stuff. I think one thing I mentioned as well, whenever we were, whenever I was going through this mission originally, is that they fixed the other mission, the previous mission where Rurik just had a tendency to sprint off and die, but I think they never actually fixed it super well in this mission, so he 100% has the tendency to just YOLO off and die somewhere by himself. So we're going to keep up with him so that doesn't happen. Because I don't want to be picking Rurik bits off the ground and trying to deliver them back. AKA, I don't want to do this mission for a third time. I was literally like 10 seconds from finishing the mission whenever I looked over at my my second monitor and saw that I wasn't recording, so yeah, fun. But we're coming up here on the gate, and if you remember, we have that magical horn from the last episode, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring that magical horn to like someplace where we can use it to fight back or weaken the charr. So that's what's going on right now.
Prince Rurik, what are you doing out here?
Open this door. You will let us through.
But sir, the king swore death if the door was opened.
And I swear death if you don't stand aside this instant.
Yes, my prince.
I defend Ascalon against another charr invasion. And my father trifles with doors.
You'll speak to the king, won't you? You'll tell him I had no choice.
Poor guard.
By Balthazar's beard, Rin burns. I told the king the charr would not be held for long. We must get to Hornhill. Only Stormcaller can save the city now.
A bit on the nose, isn't it? Hornhill? That's where we need to take the horn. But I like the idea that that guard is just on the other side. And he just doesn't notice the fact that the capital is burning down on the other side. He's like, man, what's going on over there? They're making a lot of noise. Yeah, so we definitely want to get out ahead of Rurik here so he doesn't partake of his suicidal tendencies. clear the path. Some boulder elementals. Meow. Oh yeah, I think in the previous recording I had also talked about the kind of like the inspiration for the various different campaigns. So the three main campaigns, which are kind of more of their standalone stories, they do have connections, and quite a bit more than I originally gave them credit for as a kid. But of the original three, or the standalone three, that's Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall, they're all like kind of have their like different themes. So like Prophecies, this first one, is very much your stereotypical like fantasy Western medieval style setting, and then Factions is more of an Eastern setting, more of a, I guess, an Oriental setting would be the term to use. And then Nightfall is like African and Middle Eastern inspired, which is pretty cool. There's not a lot of games that draw from that motif, at least compared to more traditional fantasy. But if you'd played this game, I'm curious what your favorite is. I personally have quite a fondness for Factions. I absolutely love the way it looks, and it's got whatever we get there, I'll gush more about it because I absolutely love it. But it's got a lot of my two favorite like zone ideas in any video game ever are from Factions. So we'll get more into that when we get there. So here's Horn Hill, this big magical ass horn, and they somehow lost the mouthpiece. I don't know why you have a 40-foot horn, but the tiny little magical part you can lose. But anyway.
Praise be to Duena if this works.
Also, how's this thing still intact? They made it rain, and cats don't like rain. So now they're running around. They're all mad that their fur is getting wet. So this is where you have to be. This especially, I remember, is a part where you need to be careful, because Rurik can very easily over-aggro. So a lot of times you need to make sure you're aggroing stuff before he gets the chance. So like here, I want to grab this group and pull it back and hopefully engage it before Rurik can do something stupid. That was not the case. We did not engage it before Rurik did something stupid. We gotta be careful. Try to save our healer here. Try to nuke them down before they save our healer. Maybe try to get in front of our healer. Oh my god. They do a pretty good job of making the charr actually kind of scary in this game, because they do an absurd amount of damage really fast. Like look how much damage they did to Rurik right there. They like half healthed him with one ability. This is very much a place where Rurik can very easily die. See if we can save these guys. Maybe they'll help us fight. Oh, here's a monk boss. That's the color for monk, that bluish. So we're gonna hit him with a backfire so he kills himself really easily. Who would die? Another thing they did is that Rurik actually walks a little bit faster than the player character. It's not a lot faster, but it's a little bit faster, so this doesn't help with the whole YOLOing into death thing. Does not help. I believe this is the end over here. This big guy back here. So he's red. Red is an elementalist, so we're gonna hit him with a backfire because he's a caster. So he'll kill himself really quickly. Yeah, look at that. Look at that damage. Nice. And that's the end of the mission. Yes, the magical horn just literally made it rain, and that's what we needed to win. Some rain. Also, yes, it does this every
Trumpets.
time, that camera
The king must be
spazzing.
near.
That happens literally every time this mission plays.
The fall of Rin will have darkened his heart.
Random ass Moa up on those stairs.
Hail King Adalbern!
Rise, my son. You have done well. The discovery of Stormcaller is surely a sign of victory.
It is a
A
powerful
red
weapon,
chick back there too.
but I fear not powerful enough. The Charr have amassed an army of many thousands.
You overestimate these beasts, Rurik. Do not be afraid.
I am not afraid, Father. I have seen them in battle. Rin has been destroyed. It would be wise to escape while we can. We should make for Kryta and rebuild our strength, not wait here for death.
I will never allow Ascalons to live in the shadow of the Krytons. It is Rin that will be rebuilt. And you will learn your place.
You have grown proud, Adalbern of Ascalon. Proud and foolish.
You would dare call your king a fool? I will hear no more. I banish you from Ascalon. You are no longer my prince, and you are no longer my son.
People of Rin, your king will lead you to death.
Well, this
If you
escalated
wish
quickly.
to see better days, if you wish to live, then leave the beasts behind and follow me over the Shiver Peaks. We make for Kryta and a new life, free of the Charr.
Well, that escalated quickly. Yak spend. I never actually understood what the hell that was supposed to be in the picture. Oh, so now that we're in a new area, the party chat size has actually changed from 6 to 8, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. But as you go through the game, the party size slowly gets bigger. Remember how it was 2 in Ascalon? Now it's 6, and eventually it'll go up to 8 as we get farther in the game. But yeah, so we're at Ascalon. We're kicked out. We banished. We on our own now. We're trying to escape with remnants of the individuals from Ascalon. We also picked up some new some more henchmen. So originally we had these 4, and now we have the option to pick up this enchanter who's a mesmer like us, a cultist who's a necromancer, or a second warrior actually. So now there's 7 different ones with 2 warriors, weirdly, for some reason. I figured if you were gonna double up on anything, you would figure double up on elementalists because there's 4 different elements. But anyway, we're in a new zone now. We're in the Shiver Peaks, which are these the name of this mountain range that runs the length of the map. Yeah, this is our next port of call, or our next place where we'll be. Let's 30 armor. What's our armor rating? Just really quickly. It's 30 still, right? Yeah, it's 30. Okay, so we don't need new armor here. Let me see if I can find the primary quest here real quick. I think it's the road to Borreless Pass. The road is swarming with dwarves. Deldrimor children were once friends of Deldrimor's children. So Deldrimor is like the dwarven god. So we're once friends of Ascalon, but seems to be some new group, the Stone Summit, who have no interest in peace with men. We must put these dwarves back on their heels to escort so many children and civilians to the past. If you wipe out the Stone Summit rares from rotting the road, can find your journey through these mountains in earnest. I'll do what I can do. Perhaps you should send a larger force. I'm pretty sure this is the... No, this isn't the main one. It's not Shiver Peak Stragglers either. Is it the Ways block? 1 second. Yes, okay, it is the Ways block. I wish it was a little bit easier to find out which one of them had the primary quest, but whatever. The Shiver Peak Mountains are not known to grant pity on travelers. Seems the storm has blown through from the east and settled around Borreless Pass, and if it wasn't enough, the Stone Summit leader called himself Inar Frostbite has taken advantage of the situation and ordered his men to block the entrance to the pass. There's no way to get supplies through. I believe he plans to wait until we're cold and hungry, then start a push towards Yak's Bend. You have to be as blind as a Doliac not to see what will happen up there if we don't do something now. I need you to lead a party up there and take out Frostbite's force. Can you do it? Sure, you can do that. So let me see if I can find one, but these are the Doliacs is what he's talking about. When he said blind as a Doliac, he's what they mean. These big things here. Kind of cute. But I believe let's keep going now. Let's try out some of our new heroes. We picked up a second warrior so we can have a little bit more frontline, so hopefully our healer will spend less time getting dead. Alright, so it looks like they're just out here. Oh, new pet as well, Snow Wolf. If you were a ranger and that interested you. As you go through the different regions, there's a whole bunch of different pets, like I talked about in the previous episode. Something like 50 of them. So my personal favorites being stuff like the Rainbow Phoenix, and the Jingle Moa, which is it's a Moa with a Santa hat, I believe. It's pretty good. Or the Black Moa, which is like a Moa but edgy. It's got like, it has like studded jewelry on it. It's really funny. I like it. It's really cool. It's a little silly. So these are Ettins. These are like the, I guess like the ogres of this universe. They have 2 heads. That's like their thing is that they have, or 2 faces. Sorry, not 2 heads. 1 head, 2 faces kind of thing. It looks a little weird with like this. Like they're a little smashed together. I would have figured that they would be a little bit more pronounced with the 2 different faces, but whatever. Neither here nor there. We didn't see any of these in, or actually I guess maybe we saw some in Ascalon, but especially in the Pre-Syrian there used to be more of those seeds that pop out of the ground. So being in the icy area now, we no longer have like stone elementals, we have frost elementals. So that's what they look like over there. They're basically walking icicles. Come to think of it, I don't think there's any water elementals. I'm actually not sure if there's air elementals either. Actually, I'm not sure there's fire elementals. So there's some of the other campaigns have things that are like elementals, but I don't know, I would have figured there would have been elementals for each element, but come to think about it, I think there might just be ice and earth. Maybe there's some reskinned ones that are like magma elementals or something. I forget. So these are the Stone Summit. They're just dwarfs. And this like gnarly black armor. Not black armor, but spiky. Like if these guys weren't the bad guys, I'd be seriously surprised. Let's just put it that way. These guys were born to be the bad guys. Oh, so this is something I want to talk about. Oh yeah, also we have centaurs in this area. That's another thing we have to deal with now. No. This is one thing I totally forgot about, but the cultist here has an ability that gives you extra energy regen. So that helps a lot with our energy management. That's something that is super nice. Which is actually like one of those skills that I never really appreciated as a kid. But now that once I actually start understanding how the game worked, I realized, oh, that skill is like actually insane. There's an elite version of it, which is like even better. That we'll probably be using later on one of our heroes. But yeah, I just remember because that's one of those skills that as a kid I was never like super fond of, because I was like, but it deals damage to you when you use it. It's like, nah, that doesn't matter. You just need the energy to pump out as many spells as humanly possible. Alright, so now we're here at Borealis Pass. Oh, the res shrines also changed. These are the areas that you resurrect at if your team wipes. And they look different depending on what region you're in. So that's like the Shiver Peaks one. Kind of cool. I like the Shiver Peaks. Very much in Prophecies, probably one of my more favorite regions, despite the fact that whenever we get to the later in the game and we you know what, you'll see later. Let's just say that they can be pretty annoying at times. I'm relieved to hear that you cleared the road. I didn't want to have to tell the refugees to boil their leathers for supper. Ever since the storm started up, the stone summit have been causing us nothing but trouble. They constantly raid our caravan and pillage our supply trains. These mountain passes are terrifying enough for the weak and the old without their constant harassment. Now, on matters concerning our prince. So this is the next mission we are at. This is Borealis Pass. Let's see if we can get a good view of the pass over here real quickly before we end today's episode. Oh no, it's just... I'm thinking of a different outpost. There's an outpost that has a really nice overview of a structure that's relevant to the mission. But I actually really like the effect here with the snow. Like, this was gonna sound stupid, but like this is actually not a bad effect, and it does make the place, like, it feels very cold. Like, I don't know, for 2005, this is pretty good. The actual textures on a lot of these things look really, especially leaves, but like the snow effect, I don't know. It's something about it. Maybe it's just because obviously I played this game so long, but especially as you look off in the distance, there's something like charming about it. I don't know, I'm rambling. So that's going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I want to thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a great day.